In this lecture, we will look at how to create multivariate test using Google Optimize. Just to recap, multivariate test is where you change multiple elements or sections, as they are called in Google Optimize, to create variations of your page. For example, you might change a headline and a call to action on the button to see which variation works better. When you create these variations, say 3 headlines and 2 buttons, then Google Optimize will create 6 page variations on the fly. It'll test each headline with each of the buttons to create 6 combinations. 3 variations of headlines, 2 variations of button. That gives you 6 combinations. And as you change more elements or sections, you get more combinations. So now let's dig into creating the experiment. Go to the container where you want this experiment to be and click on Create Experiment. Give your experiment a name. I'm going to call it Multivariate Test. As previously mentioned, you should give a more descriptive name. You have 255 characters to fill. A name that'll resonate with all the people who are looking at this experiment, this test, so they know exactly what this test is about. And then give a URL where you will be conducting this experiment on. I'm going to go to Analytics Higher to show you what I will be doing. I will be conducting the experiment on the home page, and we will be making few changes to this home page. Make sure you stop any A/B tests that are running or multivariate tests that are running before you conduct a new test. Otherwise, you might see some strange results. So let's go back to our container and put this URL. Let's go back to our container and put this URL for our experiment page. So what's the page you'd like to test? We'll test the home page, and then this time we are selecting multivariate test. So go ahead and select it and click on Create. Now you got a different view in your container for Create Experiment. It already assumes that you will at least be creating 2 sections, which is why you're creating this experiment. You can create more sections if you'd like. So for section A, go ahead and click on Create Variant. And we'll call it Variant 1. You can leave it as it is, or you can provide a more descriptive name. And then you can continue to create more variants. Similarly for section B, let's create a variant, call it Variant 1, and add it. Now you got 2 sections, section A with original and variant, and section B with original and variant. So let's go ahead and change our variant. So let's go ahead and click on Variant 1. It'll prompt you to save it. Go ahead and save and continue. Now you are in the visual editor. You've seen this while creating an A/B test. So go ahead and change whatever you want. So in this case, let's go ahead and change the heading. Click on Edit Element, or you can right click here to edit text HTML. So I'm going to do Edit Text and call it Contractors on Demand. So once you're done, go ahead and click Done, save it, and click Done again to go back. So we created for section 1, which is headline. You can rename this section and call it headline so that we know what we did here, your original and your variant 1. And let's go ahead and give it a name so that we know what we did and click on Done. So for headline, you got original and you got Contractors on Demand. Now let's go ahead and create a variant for section B. Click on Variant 1, save and continue. And this time we are going to make a change to our button right here. So go ahead and click on it, Edit Element, Edit Text. And I want to call it Open Positions. And go ahead and click Done and save it and click Done to go back. And let's rename our variant and call it Open Positions, and edit information on section and call it Button. So we got 2, headline and button, and 2 variations of both. You can create more sections and more variants if you'd like, and you can keep adding. But remember, more sections you create, more variants you create, more combinations it will be, and which means it'll require a lot more traffic. For this example, we are going to leave 2 variants of each of these sections. So go ahead and click on combinations and you can see these combinations. So you got headline original, button original. You got headline original, open position. You got contractors on demand and with original button, and then contractors on demand with open position. So that's the 4 combination of those 2 elements. Once you're done, then you pick your experiment objective like you did previously. And we're going to choose from a list. And again, we want to increase the page views. So go ahead and click that. And then type in your description and hypothesis. Changing headline and button on the home page. Targeting, we are going to leave it as default. Save it, and then click on Start Experiment. So now your experiment is live, and people will start to see different combinations when they come to Analytics Hire. So once the experiment is done, you will be able to see the reporting, and it'll show you the performance of each combinations here. One more thing I want to highlight is that you can view reports in Google Analytics. This is for any experiment that you have conducted. Once you click on it, it is going to show you those experiments. Remember, we created a multivariate test, and here are the combinations. This applies to any experiments that we have created in past as well. In order to see all the running experiments, you can go to the experiment section of Google Analytics, and you can see all the experiments that are running, and then what are the details. Once you dig deeper into it, it'll show you the results. So you have 2 ways of looking at the results. So that's it. This covers all the experiments that you can create in Google Optimize.